Tonight's History's Headlines takes us back to Civil War times when some local soldiers were in big need of a morale boost.
And they got it thanks to a cameo from the Commander-in-Chief.
It was July of 1864, and the 47th Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry Regiment, made up largely of Lehigh County men, was down on its luck.
They had just been in a bad campaign called the Red River Campaign. Some people say it was just a military disaster. Others say, no, it was the fault of the commanders, not the fault of the troops.
The major Union offensive in Louisiana aimed to capture Shreveport and further decimate the Confederate Army. But it ended in a major loss. Then the men of the 47th found out they were being split up, with some companies told to board a steamer and head north.
They were shocked when their sealed orders were finally open at sea, and they were told, you're going to join the armies of Potomac and Washington.
They would join Union forces in defending the capital, whose outskirts were being raided by Confederates. The men of the 47th made their way to Fort Stevens, one of dozens of forts in the area. Then, on July 12th, a visitor, a tall man atop the parapet,
wearing his typical stovepipe hat, his big top hat, and making him an ideal target for the Confederates, because everybody knew that that had to be Abraham Lincoln in those days.
His presence was no doubt a morale booster for the Union soldiers, but being within striking distance of Confederate gunfire wasn't exactly the best place for the commander-in-chief. Someone, stories conflict as to exactly whom, yelled at him to get down, and he did. 9 months later, the war was effectively over.
One of the stories that the Civil War men brought home to Allentown and the Lehigh Valley was having seen Lincoln there at Fort Stevens.
President Lincoln, of course, would fall victim to an assassin's bullet, but not on a battlefield. The last survivor of the 47th, an Easton man named Daniel Dacrote, was 96 years old when he died in 1941.